There we go. We are good now. Now you can hear me. How about that? Should be good now collectively across all sides inside our live trading room. Michael, Margaret, Leda, John, saw Kathleen, Carlos, Sam, Yehuda, all of our students and members there. And again, you should have us back on social media here. I'm no longer a mute. Down below, bottom left, at Cyber Trading You popping up just right there. If you're new to our streams platforms, I like everything there. Just hit the follow, subscribe button there. But I'll tell you, we are continuing along. We got our classes coming up later on this afternoon at 3 o'clock Eastern. I guess to be exact, 3:05 Eastern, but the phase one stock course. So lesson number 2, where we left off by going over just the extreme details of our trading room, our classes, just getting started as a student, whether you have a month, a year worth of experience or 20 years worth of experience, you know that these classes are meant for everyone. But that means later on today, we're going to continue up with our next class, going over times and days of the week to trade. So not every day of the week is going to provide equal opportunity. Not every time of the day is going to provide equal opportunity. And as traders, we don't want to just jump in. We're not here to gamble. We're here to make highly educated decisions with our dinero. So with that said, heading into the close from 3 to 4 p.m., little free game for everyone at least. But obviously, we do these meetings around the better times of the day to trade. So 3 to 4 o'clock should have some good activity heading into the close. And we'll start off our watch list by discussing this true, I guess troops, but not like true as in it's like honest. Troops, TROO, true. So this thing ended up having a pretty good squeeze up early heading into the mid-morning, pretty much when we started class, I guess. But we came off a class. It was pretty much near the highs of the time. It was crashing back down. And when it comes crashing back down, quite frankly, you're not expecting, you might have some hope, but you're not expecting necessarily for this to make a second wind move like you're seeing here. It's very strong. So great activity going into this time of the day. Hopefully, hopefully it continues to play out this way where keep seeing higher lows, break of the resistance here off the highs, 240, 250. Hey, I'll put this on our list to start. I mean, it's worth watching for now. And by the end of this meeting, if this just craps out, goes the other way, we'll take it off. But for right now, it makes the cut. Now, a stock that we did talk about in our workshop just earlier today, not only do we have our classes today, but as you know, today's Monday, we do our live Traders Talk workshop. Well, we were alluding to this 13 level being potential support because this was damn good resistance throughout the early hours of the morning here. So we finally got a clean breakout, ran up beautifully, about like 10 points. So why not expect to have that resistance flip into support, right? Perfect. Right here, beautiful. Bounce back up for about $3.50 a share. It's a good start, but if this is not making that exact type of second wind type of move, next burst of energy, trying to push up like this true trade has done, if it's not breaking higher highs, it's going to break lower lows. So it started to pull back here. It's trying to inch up, I guess, now, but I don't have as much interest on it just yet. I'd rather this now try and prove us wrong. If this wants to break a local higher high, even pop above 1625 here, I'd rather be more interested in it there compared to here at this stage. This is some no-name low float stock. So if you're expecting this stock to make a move this afternoon just because the other one did, that's not how trading works, my friends. So, this is a very low float, high risk stock. Already made a 15-point move earlier today. How much more are you going to ask out of it? You know what I mean? So good while it lasted. We're done with it now. IBG, Innovation Beverage Group. That's an interesting name. Dig into the company, see what they do. But otherwise, has not been a great swing trade. I guess an IPO from the end of last year, but still, it has not been a great swing trade for a while. Maybe they had some good news today that came out or from overnight. Broke above local resistance here around 83, 84 cents. That was probably much earlier, though. It was actually like 12:30, dipped into it as support already. And if it shakes down here heading into the close, wouldn't shock me if this gets retested here. This is kind of like an in-betweener between the true and the SQFT. This kind of falls in between. The true trade is near the highs, the best. The SQFT is garbage, at least for right now. We're still calling it such. And then this IBG is still hanging in there, but definitely needs to get going soon. So I'm not fully committed to this one just yet. Sun is garbage. That was done from earlier today. This is a buyout. That's what buyouts look like. So I was saying earlier to you, I was like, this is kind of moving a little weird for a buyout. But that's where I said, hey, I don't like weird if it doesn't provide me as much of a chance to make money. this became its normal buyout form where it just went flat sideways, moving for a bit. So, if you wasted any time on that, I apologize, but we did not here. We kind of moved on from it quick. OP, a couple pops, I guess, from Friday after hours was this, then like early pre-market. It's been dead since though. What, maybe for this afternoon, you think you could try and break out again? It's a nice low risk stock, at least, good spread, good order book. Actually, even a little iceberg on the buy side right now. This came up when maybe almost had to have just popped up. This iceberg, 41,000 shares at $2.16. That literally just had to have popped up over the last 8 minutes. I mean, I can guarantee you that, because if this stock is trading below 216, then there's not going to be any 41,000 share iceberg on the bid there. You know what I mean? So it came back up, and then right around 228, 229, I can all but guarantee at least that's when it first started to show. If not, maybe just the last bar. Let's see. Open up our book map for this one. Just kind of go through the order book, see what time that order showed up. Yep, here we go. Don't make this up, folks. Just a little deductive reasoning. Right here, there we go. Right at 228, 229, that order just showed up instantly. I like that part of it, definitely. So do I want to give this a shot? It just simply doesn't hurt for us to give this a shot. So for now, it makes the list. All right, just lost my scanner. Where the hell did my scanner go? Right here. There we go. Jeez, I knew I was verklempt. All right, back to our screen here. What else we got? BMGL up and down already. Again, a lot of these trades that are just, flavor of the morning, flavor of the hour even, and then that's it. Knew that was going to be the case with DARE before. Even BDRX, this was the trade we covered earlier in our workshop, showing you what to expect. Hey, if this isn't making that big move shortly after, probably going to make a big move shortly after, just the other direction. So that's where it's even more discouraging now to say, hey, this had a great level here at $1.12. And even off this last breakout, you're telling me that it's still chippy and it's not holding this really good at all. So that is a bit discouraging as far as just this one stock goes. I mean, the long-term chart obviously speaks for itself. So you don't want to get caught, catching a falling knife on this trade. I'll come back to this if you want me to. If it ends up pushing back up, I'll give it another shot. But for right now, we'll move forward. YHC, this actually looks pretty similar to like OP in a small way. A little pop from earlier, pop from Friday after hours there. And then now it's trying to come back up a little bit. So another stock that I guess doesn't hurt for us to put on the list. Maybe it makes that better move this afternoon. Still needs to make higher highs. iRobot or IRBT. Yeah, iRobot, not the movie, but the company. This is the beginning of a gap fill. That's nice to see. And it's near the highs. The only thing I would just say on this without even looking at bookmap is probably should have some resistance right at $5. $5 Abraham Lincoln, and probably expect a lot of volume sitting there. Again, another one I'll add. I don't mind adding it, but I'll tell you what, I want something that I'm going to be like chomping at the bit to try and jump in on here, where our traders otherwise. METC, listen, it's at the high of the day, so that part I really like. Spread is open a little bit, whatever. It's not like the worst we've ever seen, but it's open. You got 14,000 shares sitting here. Andrew Jackson, $20 bill. So with that said, at least 20 is your big resistance. It's been a great swing trade in hindsight. That's kind of like Captain Hindsight comment there, but interesting, huh? This was a stock back from 2017, fell off a cliff for a while, but then ever since has been going up. This is all the historical charting we have for this trade. So, yeah, pretty interesting move looking at the long term. That I will say. You know what? I'll add this to our list. I'll actually put it above the others for right now. I like the Troop trade the most, but see what else we got. Xena, there's so much, There's so many different stocks out there that's like, maybe, and you don't really want that. RCAT's probably going to be as good as we can get here. So it's a stock that we're familiar with. Red Cat, is it called? RCAT there. Just either way, one of the air taxi, EVTOL, drone stocks or whatever. We traded this back with Archer and Jobby, back from the end of last year. So they've been on the come up again here. Just back from Friday, they had a great day, pushing higher this morning, of course, and near the regular hours HOD now. So I'll definitely add this and probably be near the top. SBET, we had enough fun on that one. Great trade that SBET trade was from last week. What else we got here? Ondis, another air taxi stock, EVTOL-esque company. Number like 50 is still up a lot. So, if there's anything else that looks good, folks, that I may have missed out on, let me know. Serve here is like tradable. It's, having a good day. I don't think this is going to make that big squeeze, though, into the close. So you might be wasting time. AUR is at the high of the day, a little slow, but a little closer to the highs now. So I don't mind that. This one I love. All right, so QUBT, instantly putting this on our watch list. Just another stock like Red Cat that we're familiar with. That's near the highs. OKLO, same here. All right, now we're building ourselves up a little watch list. Now we're building ourselves up a pretty damn good list at this point. So PLTR at the high of the day, it's not up over 5%, but name brand stock, I mean, at all-time highs. So yeah, Palantir, we will slip on our list too. Hims a little slow now. Rocket Lab having a good day. Don't get me wrong. Same with ASTS. QS having a really good day here, going up with the other quantum. Right. So a lot of the quantum trades are moving, pretty similarly together, so to say. I would go QUBT, and this one we actually don't trade as often as the others, actually, but we'll go with this one today too, though. The QS. All right. So we're now at a pretty damn good watch list. A lot of familiar names on our watch list at this point. We'll hop over to the loser side, though, right now, seeing if there's any good shorts like this. It's hard to borrow from me, but, if you were able to get the shares to short this throughout the day, then God bless you, because this is probably the trade of the day, at least. It's at all-time lows. So I'll kind of slip this on the back of our watch list, at least for right now. Is this a buying opportunity? No. I wouldn't want to wish this on my worst enemy as a buying opportunity, at least right now as it stands. Like, as we're talking live right now, hell no. But if this wants to prove itself to us, if the shorts want to cover a small bit, and if this looks to try and break back over 2, or maybe even get halted at first on the way up, that can reinvigorate some short covering for this trade. For it to be down 91 freaking percent, there's a chance we see a little short covering heading into the final 80, 85 minutes of our afternoon here. So Workhorse got beat up bad. Didn't even realize that until just now. INKT. Now, this is no surprise. What goes up from Friday comes right back down. Same with above foods, I think. SRFM. Oh, wow, this really fell off a cliff. Holy smokes. Saw this up big from Friday, and we were discussing it a little bit earlier this morning, but wow, this thing sure fell off as well. Back down towards the lows that we had back from Wednesday, Thursday last week, at least. So if it wants to really keep chipping away at support holding above this, then I'm sure that we'll focus on this trade again in due time. But for now, for today, just funny seeing how far this dropped off, though. All right. Any other things on the loser side here, folks, like shorts, namely? I mean, if it's down 40, 90%, maybe there's dead cat bounce potential, but otherwise, I'm looking more at shorts here for this loser side. It's not a loser. It's going up right now, at least HLF. And then all these are real small cap. Really can't short any of these on the loser side for right now. So, hey, if you're joining us on social media, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, etc., shout out, as always, Leda simulcasting here. Busy lady right there. Inside our live trading room is also on YouTube. Kevin, also my neighbor over in Lakeland. Great to see you as well. All right, so anything else, folks? Up, down, left, right, more than 5% you'd want me to look at here before we call it a wraps? Carlos, or actually going from top to bottom. I'm sorry, guys. Top to bottom here. Leda, BDRX. Yeah, let me get back to this at least just at the very end. If this is back over 112, I'll put it on our list. If it just stays here and drops more, then dead. It's kind of discouraging if it were to do that, because I wasn't expecting the afternoon push thus far. So I want it to hold back over 112. Just if it's not going to play nice, then no chance. Thomas on LTBR. Yeah, this is another nuclear stock, actually. So if you're familiar with them already, Thomas, then you're probably above myself here, a step above myself in the know. But LTBR is up over 13%. This is a nuclear trade. It goes with OKLO. It goes with the SMR, which actually, indirectly, you're making me add the SMR to our list at least here. We forgot to include this. The LTBR is having a great day, Thomas. And if you're already in, all the more to you. I'm rooting you on, of course. Just the only difference with this one, though, is that although it is cheaper, this actually should have more liquidity on the book, given it is cheaper, right? Uh, Considering OKLO and SMR are a little higher priced, it's not surprising for them to have this type of order book. I just thought that LTBR would have been more liquid, and we've traded that one before too, so I'm kind of familiar with like how it trades. So I'm just giving you a little warning there. But if you're already in, you're probably doing pretty nicely. So, what else we got here, folks? Kath on the you, all about you, right? I like to call it all about you. A little bit easier on my speech impediment based tongue to say all about you. So just to say though, this goes with nuclear. These uranium stocks go with nuclear, at least when there's sharper traction within the sector. They're not up as much percentage wise, but you can clearly see all of these have a movement so far this afternoon. I'll keep them on our side list for right now. They're tradable though. They are tradable. This definitely has good volume on the book. And like I just said before, if you're already in this, just prior to us beginning this meeting, rooting you on as always. MGRM dead. DEAD. That's the name movement. Hollow, if you could short it maybe. But otherwise, we've already got a really big list at this point, folks. Just namely if it's like breaking out and popping right now as we're talking, or if it's something I haven't even looked at yet. I kind of just looked at this one a moment ago, the hollow. Anything that we're missing on the upward direction regard, let me know. But ELAB, ASPI, it's kind of going up, but it's not up over 5%. Maybe this is this is isotope. It's in the name. It's a nuclear uranium mineral-esque based play. So this has moved in the past with the others. Just you want to focus on the ones that have the most activity, the best volume to them. We're not necessarily in the business of just like trying to find the next big thing that isn't moving yet. Because if it ain't moving, there's probably a reason why it's not moving. So this is starting to push a little bit, but compared to the others, compared to the other nuclears like SMR, OKLO, even that LTBR, you just want to see more out of it. That's all. IBG, did we go over this one so far? Did we cover this one just yet? It was above $1. Yeah, it was number 3 on the gainers list. It's trying to go back up a little bit for right now. All right, so IBG, let me just go through the top of the gainers list one more time before we finish. BDRX, it's dead. All right, so we're not going to focus on this BDRX, at least just yet. If it gets back over that 112, maybe. Rich will kind of steer that ship for you there. But at least for right now, yeah, IBG, if anything, I got to put this on our watch list here. Now we'll wrap it up. All right, folks, so I'll tell you, to begin this meeting, we really didn't have too much to work with, but then we started going through just the rest of the gainers list, our side lists. We saw some of the nuclears out there. We even got Palantir, which isn't even up, 5% technically, but that's having a great day at all-time highs. There is a lot to work with here heading into the afternoon, folks. So again, just keep in mind as a student, if you have access to the Phase 1 stock course, most of us here, I'd say, just give a shout out to like Anna, Carlos, Thomas, Michael, you got George, you got Chuck, you got Farzad, you got Lewis, Uday, actually Nabil. Great to see Nabil. He's going to be joining us here for the first time, I believe, this afternoon. So welcome aboard, Nabil, one of our new students now. And hey, keep in mind, again, just click the link right down below to join if you're inside our live trading room. If you're on social media, I wouldn't even have you worry about our classes just yet because we'd want to have you join our live trading room first, just see if this is even for you or not. So we offer a small trial to our live trading room if you're on social media, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, etc., etc. We'll Willy Wonka reference there at the end, et cetera, et cetera. But just right down below, ctu.co/trial. That is the link to join us each and every morning, each and every afternoon, exclusively inside our live trading room. Join about 104 of us right now joining us here. Like I said, Leda, Michael, George, got Brian, got Elena, you got Kathy joining us here this afternoon, Sonia, got Tim, got a couple Tims actually, got a couple Toms as well. But folks, hey, for all of our students there, I look forward to seeing you in class. And if you're not a student even just yet, Rich will take you going into the close. So, hey, start and stick with our watch list. And then probably around like 3:30 even, that's probably when Rich will, scan other stocks for you and see what else is out there. But, best of luck trading going into the close. And I'll catch up with all of our students in just a bit. Take care.